Welcome to Lighten Up, the art of living clutter-free, the podcast where we tackle the literal and figurative clutter standing between you and your healthiest and happiest life. I'm Melanie, your host, coach, and guide on this journey to help you design a life that you love. Whether it's clearing out your kitchen cabinets, untangling your digital files, or letting go of the mental blocks that hold you back, we're here to make space for what truly matters. Let's lighten up together, starting now. Hey everyone, welcome back to Lighten Up, the art of living clutter-free. I'm your host, Melanie, and this is the place where we discuss all things weight, health, wellness, and clutter. Today, we're diving into something I find absolutely fascinating, and that is the concept of identity driving behavior. And this can be a game changer when it comes to weight loss, to decluttering, and to overall wellness. Because here's the truth. What we believe about ourselves determines the actions that we take. So if you have ever struggled with making a change that actually sticks in the long run, whether it's getting healthier or losing weight, tackling the cluttered closet, anything in life, any behavior change, your identity might be the piece of that puzzle that is missing. So let's first talk about what identity driving behavior actually means. In simple terms, it means that the way we see ourselves dictates our habits, dictates our choices, dictates our actions. So let me give you an example. If you see yourself as a disorganized person, then every attempt to declutter feels temporary because deep down you still believe that you're messy. It's the same thing with weight loss. If you identify as someone who's always struggled with weight, or someone who's not athletic, or someone who's addicted to sugar, then your brain works overtime to reinforce that identity. So if you see yourself in a particular way, like these examples I just gave you, then you don't even need to take action. It's pretty much saying, I can't do these things because I don't identify myself that way. So why do I even have to bother? Why do I even have to get started? Why do I have to do all the hard things to make change if that's not how I identify myself? I've seen it firsthand in my own journey, in my clients' journeys. But I'm going to talk about me. Because when I lost 65 pounds, I had to shift from being the person who always struggles with eating and weight to someone who simply takes care of her health. And that identity shift truly changed everything for me. It made me start taking action. And eventually, I just learned to identify myself as a strong woman, as a healthy mom, as a happy wife. All of the things, I had to see myself that way before I became that way. So how identity impacts weight, wellness, and clutter. Let's talk about the link between health and clutter, because this is one of my favorite topics. When I work with my clients, whether it's weight loss or decluttering, there is one common thread, and that is identity. If you identify as someone who hates exercise or can't resist sweets, guess what? Your behaviors will match that belief. When it comes to clutter and identity, if you see yourself as someone who can't get organized, you'll always struggle with clutter, no matter how many times you tidy up. It will feel futile because in our heads, as we're organizing, we are potentially thinking, well, it's never going to stay this way because we don't identify as ourselves as the person who can. So let's talk about the crossover between clutter and weight because, well, y'all know, I always say weight and clutter are connected. And it's because both of them are often symptoms of overwhelm, of stress, of avoidance, frustration, anxiety, nervousness, depression. Like they're symptoms of all of the heightened emotions that we have. So if you have a cluttered kitchen, it's harder to cook healthy meals. If your calendar is chaotic, it's harder to prioritize exercise. And at the root of it all, how you see yourself. If you believe you're someone who just can't get it all together, then those behaviors will never stick. So, how to shift your identity to support the life that you want, the life that you truly deserve. Recognize the identity that is holding you back. First, ask yourself, what do I believe about myself when it comes to weight? What is it that I think about myself when it comes to health and wellness? And how do I see myself as someone with clutter? Do you see yourself as someone who's always going to struggle? Someone who's just never going to be organized? It's time to create a new identity that aligns with your goals. Here's the magic trick. There's a magic trick. Here it is. Instead of focusing on what you want to do, focus on who you want to become. So instead of saying something like, I need to lose weight, which we've all said many times before, shift to, I am someone who nourishes my body. Instead of saying, I need to clean my house, shift to, I am someone who creates a peaceful home environment. And then act as if it has already happened. Once you create this new identity, start taking small actions. You know me, I talk about ridiculously simple goals. So take ridiculously simple actions that align with this new version of yourself that you are seeing. If you are someone who moves daily, you are now saying you are someone who moves daily versus I'm someone who doesn't exercise. Start with a 5-minute walk. Just start with walking around the corner. If you are someone who moves daily, take that action. If you're someone who keeps an organized space, remember you're moving from someone who can never be organized to someone who keeps an organized space. Start by clearing one surface. It doesn't have to be massive. It just needs to be consistent, meaning it has to be something small enough that we can do over and over and over again. So I use me as an example often because I have been through this weight loss and decluttering journey. And the reality is that I work my way through the weight maintenance and continue the decluttering journey. But I want to talk about some specific clients that I've talked to about this very recently. Because I work a lot with women who come in saying, I've always been messy, or I can't lose weight no matter what I do. And once we've shifted those identities, or worked on shifting those identities, I should say, everything started to change. So I had this one client who just said that she was so disorganized that her kids were also disorganized. And so when she stopped saying, I'm terrible at organizing, I'm a messy mom, she shifted to, I'm learning how to simplify my space. And it had to be that because she had to start somewhere. She actually really enjoys decluttering now. Like she'll send me pictures and when we talk, she'll tell me what the most recent thing she's done is. And guess what? Her kids are beginning to follow through as well. And they're little kids. Anyway, I wanted to talk about more clients. I have another one who, and this is like so many of my clients, I've struggled with my weight my whole life. And that's probably true. If someone says I've struggled with weight my whole life, it is true. That is how they feel. But they don't have to be the person who always struggles with weight. So I have this one client, and when we discussed, like, let's not say that way anymore. Let's find a new way of saying what you want to be. And she said, I am someone who makes choices that honor my body. I loved that statement, that concept of honoring herself. And I kid you not, the weight loss started almost right away. And it wasn't that she was losing weight because of the statement she made. She was losing weight because of the action she took because of the statement that she's saying to herself on a regular basis. This could be you too. It really could. So let's bring it all home. Identity drives behavior. So if you see yourself as someone who thrives in a clutter-free space and prioritizes their health, your actions will naturally align with that. But if your identity is stuck in old patterns, change will always feel like an uphill battle. If this subject resonated with you and you're ready to shift your identity to support the life you want, I invite you to check out our Design Your Healthy Life Strategy program. It's where we work on removing both physical and mental clutter so you can create habits that actually stick. We have weekly Zoom workshops. We have over 50 lessons that you can read, and you can get access to dozens of workshops that have already taken place to help you take control of your space, your health, and your mindset. If you're ready, let's do this together. Click on the link in the show notes to learn more. So thank you so much for tuning in to Lighten Up, the art of living clutter-free. If you found today's episode helpful, share it with a friend. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review. Those friends out there need to hear this too. So until next time, lighten up and live clutter-free. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Lighten Up, the art of living clutter-free. I hope you found a spark of inspiration to help declutter not just your space, but your mind and life as well. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use a little lightness in their life. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about progress. Small steps lead to big changes, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. For more tips, resources, and ways to connect, check out my website, follow me on social media, and don't forget to check out the Design Your Healthy Life Strategy program to take your transformation even further. Until next time, keep letting go of what no longer serves you and making room for what truly lights you up.